Hello all, welcome to the DevOps Planet. In my previous video, we saw how we can launch a Docker container, what is Docker image, how we can download the images, how to delete the container and other things. Now in continuation of that video, we are going to deep dive inside the Docker container. So in today's video, we are going to learn how we can log in inside the Docker container, how we can set up Apache 2 server on a Docker container and how we can access that over browser. So let's see whether we have any image on my system or not. So the command is sudo docker images. So currently I don't have any image. So let me quickly launch a container. We have already seen in my previous video that how we can launch a container, how we can download the image. So I am quickly launching a container. I am passing the name as demo1 and here I am going to use the Ubuntu image 22.04. So as we have already seen, first it will try to find that image on local machine. So as we have already seen, we do not have any machine. Then it will download that machine. And once the downloadation of the image complete, it will launch a Docker container. So let the download complete. So it's about to be. So the image has been downloaded and we can see the newer image that is 22.04. And as we can see, now it is launching a Docker container. So that is also done. So if I check again the images on my system, command is sudo docker images. So we can see one image now, and now let me check any container running or not. So the command is sudo docker ps. So we can see one container is running. Now, if we want to execute any command on this container, then how we can do that? So there is a command, the command is hostname. This is the command which print the hostname of our system. So on my local system, if I execute this command, it gives me the output that is DevOps-planet. That is the host name of my machine. Now I want to execute the same command over the Docker container. So how I can do that? So first let me list the Docker container. Now to execute this hostname command over to this container. So the command is sudo docker execute. Now either we can pass the container ID or we can pass the container name. So I am passing the container name demo1 and here you simply need to pass the command that is hostname. Now this command will execute on the Docker container and it will print the hostname of the Docker container. If I press enter, so as you can see it print the hostname of the Docker container and by default this is the container ID. Now, if I want to log in inside the Docker container, so for that, we are going to use again the same command that is docker execute and I pass the Docker name here. Now to log in inside the container, we need a terminal. So that could be a bash, that could be a sh or any other one. So here I'm going to use the bash. So to launch the bash terminal, we need this command that is /bin/bash. Now there is one more thing that we need to pass here. So when we execute this hostname command, so it was simply a command that gives us an output. But if I execute that bin-bash command, it will give us a terminal. So for that, I need to pass one option that is -i. -i is for the interactive mode and -t is for the terminal. So if we want to access the Docker terminal, we need to pass these two parameters here. Now if I execute this command, then it will execute that bin bash on the Docker container, and because it is interactive mode, we will able to log in inside the Docker container. So if I press enter, let's see. So as you can see here, we can see the host name of the Docker container which I printed previously, and now we are logged in from the root user. So now you are inside the Docker container. So if you are going to perform any command here, that will execute on the Docker container, not on my local machine. So now let's set up the Apache server on this container. So first let me update the apt repository. So the command is apt-get update. So it will update my packages on my Docker container. So we can see this command has been executed successfully. Now to install the Apache 2, we have the command that is apt install Apache 2. So this will start execution of the Apache 2. It will ask for a confirmation. So let me press Y. Now press enter. Now it will set up the Apache 2 server over the Docker container. Remember, this is not doing anything on my local machine. It is performing all these commands inside the Docker container. So it's about to be completed. Okay, so it is done. Now let me check the status of this server. So command is service Apache 2 status. So currently it's not running. So let me start this. So again the command is service Apache 2 start. So it started the Apache 2 server. Now let me again check the status. So now we can see that Apache 2 is running. Now I want to access this servers from the browser, because we all know that by default Apache 2 execute on run on port number 80. So we can hit the Apache 2 server from our browser. So let me exit from this Docker container. So now again I'm back on my local machine and I can see this container is running. Now we need to fetch the IP address of this container. So for that we have a command that is sudo docker inspect command. So this command will not only give the IP address, it will give the other information also regarding the Docker configurations, the image configurations, the entry point and other things. So let's see the output of this command. So as we can see, it gives us a very detailed information about our Docker container. So you can see, if you scroll up, you can see a number of things here. So the thing which we are looking for is the Docker IP address. If you scroll down, you will find here the network configuration. And in this tab, you will see the IP address value. So this is the IP address of my Docker container. So now let me copy this IP. Okay. And let me go to the browser and paste this IP. Now, if I press enter, let's see what happened. So this is the default page of Apache 2, which has loaded successfully. It means we are connected to our Apache 2 server. So that's how we can set up the Apache 2 inside the Docker container. Now let's suppose I want to change this default page, or I want to update any code here. So how that things work. So let me log in again inside the Docker container. So I am executing the same command which I previously used, the bin bash on the demo1 container. Press enter. And the default document directory root for the Apache 2 is var www.html. So here you will see index.html file. This is the file which we are showing on our browser. So if I update the code of this file, then it will same time it will reflect in on our browser. So update this file. Press enter. So now I have updated this file and this is the content which I have written this. Now if I refresh this page, so at the same time we can see that the content has been updated. So that's how we set up the Apache 2 server over the Docker container. So we can simply exit from this Docker container and still we can see our services up and running. So currently I do not have Apache 2 on my local system. This Apache 2 server is running inside the Docker container. So that is how we can log in inside the Docker container. We can customize the container. We can execute the command, set up the servers and other things. I hope you like this video. In my next videos, we will more deep dive. We will see what is Docker file, volumes, the networking part, and other things. So thanks for watching this. Have a good day.